What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back in the studio, back where we belong. We've got a Tottenham update for you guys. And first up, we're going to be talking about the new squad numbers for the upcoming season. There's been a few changes. Obviously, we've got some signings as well. First up, we're going to talk about Jed Spence. He's going to be changing to number 24. While Clement Lenglet will wear number 34, which is very interesting numbers for those guys. Of those particular numbers, anyone stands out for you in the past?
34. Who have we had 34 before? No, I don't remember. It's only one up from Davis, so I don't know if that's something to do with it. I wonder if Davis will take the number 3 if Reguilon leaves in good time. That could be something. He's been waiting for that shirt for about 10 years.
He's not even in that position anymore.
Yeah, I know. Who was the other one you mentioned?
And Jed Spence, 24.
Jed Spence, 24.
The only 24 I can remember is Jamie O'Hara.
Jamie O'Hara was 24. Yeah, that's very true. Serge Aurier. He was 24. Yeah. Serge Aurier. Who are the 24s have we had?
Hasn't been a particularly successful number.
No, not yet. Not yet. Give it time. Maybe he'll be up there. But look, I thought Spence was going to be 29, but then Skip was 29. But he's now 4. So I wonder why he's not 29.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why he's not 29 in a second, because someone has taken that number. Obviously, we know this already, but Fraser Forster's taking Dele Alli's number in number 20. Richarlison is taking number 9, R9. Christian Romero taking number 17, his favourite number. Pape Matar Sarr is taking number 29.
Ah, right, of course.
So does that mean Pape Matar Sarr is here to stay, or is he just taking...
I don't think it means that just yet, but... It means that if he does stay, he'll be number 29. That's what it means, I think. But look, I'd be interested if he was to stick around. That would be interesting to me to see what he can do.
I agree.
But I think also a loan move probably was better off with a more consistent game time.
Ollie Skip taking number 4, so that's a massive upgrade for him. And then an interesting one is Joe Rodon switches to number 22. With his previous number 14 being assigned to Ivan Perisic. Perisic personally phoned Joe Rodon to request the shirt number, which he has worn throughout his career, something the Spurs centre-back was more than happy to do for the new man. Nice. So do you think that he already has an inkling maybe that his time at Tottenham is coming to an end, or he's just a nice guy?
I think he's just a nice guy. And I feel like I don't think he has a special connection with Rodon, the number 14. So makes sense to me. Perisic, a bit of a class toucher. I thought his favourite number was 44. Well, that's what it says on FM anyway. It says his favourite number is 44 because I signed him on FM just to see how he would do.
How did he do?
He did very well. He did very well. So I'm very excited. He scored 5 goals for me in one game. In a Europa Conference game. I put him up front.
You got Perisic in the Europa Conference League.
Yeah, because I signed him.
It's this year.
Yeah, exactly.
You just started a new game, did you?
Yeah. So I signed him. I was like, I pushed the ball out a bit and I got him through the door. Anyway, it said 44 is his favourite number. So I was like, is he going to go for 44? But he didn't. Went for 14. But he played 14 with Inter as well. So, yeah, happy with that.
All right, so that is the squad number situation. I don't think is there anyone else that we've signed that has been assigned one?
Oh, you said Bissouma's temporarily 38.
That was it. Bissouma you're right, will temporarily wear 38 for pre-season, which brings up the conversation about the number 8 for when Winks leaves. It's strange that everyone else has been assigned a specific number for the rest of the season, but Bissouma hasn't yet.
So I'm thinking we're waiting for Winks to go.
Yeah.
And then he'll give Bissouma the number 8. I assume he was number 8 at Brighton. So I'm assuming that's the hold up there. Because Winks doesn't seem that close as of yet to leaving, does he?
No, but you thought these players were left out on tour, they would be gone by now.
Yeah, you'd have thought.
But none of them are yet, so we'll have to see how that one plays out. In terms of transfer news, let's talk about Giovanni Lo Celso now. As Gary Jacob from The Times says that Fiorentina have revisited their offer to sign Lo Celso on loan with a view to a permanent deal of £15 million. Tottenham did reject the initial offer of the loan, but it seems as though a permanent clause has been put in there now, so we'll see how that one works out.
Yeah, is it an option or obligation?
Doesn't say. It just says with a view of a permanent deal for 15 million.
Yeah, sounds like the Spurs one is being an obligation. So hopefully there's legs in that. But I think he would probably want to return to Spain. We probably want a slightly higher permanent fee, although I think 15 million at this point, just take that and move forward with
Completely agree.
I think I know we'll make a massive loss on him, but at least you get a bit of money back. 15 million isn't nothing, although it's not a lot, but it's not nothing. Pays for Spence.
It's more than what you're going to get next summer and then the summer after.
Yeah,
you
just. I think if that's a good deal for Spurs, I think you get some money back. You lower the net spending, you give yourself a bit more money to go and get another player. So, as much as it's a bit of a, it's gonna cause Levy pain to lose so much money on a transfer, which I'm sure it will. I think. It's not the end of the world, that kind of deal. At least you're getting money. You think about Ndombele, you can't give him away at the moment. So I think it's a lesson, but I think hopefully we get that deal done. But I think he's what he was holding out for Villarreal.
Yeah, I got a feeling about that as well. And we brought you obviously the update yesterday that he is Villarreal's priority, but they do need to sell before they buy. So we'll have to wait and see how that one works out. Let's talk about Nicola Zaniolo now, which is a very interesting one. Gary Jacob from The Times says that Tottenham want an attacking midfielder with Paratici keen on Zaniolo. George Bannister with a very interesting update. He says he had heard whispers that talks with Zaniolo had been positive. Couple of risks attached, but definitely plausible that this one happens, I think, at the right price. Obviously, he managed 42 games last year after having harrowing injuries on both ACLs, and the people that matter, like him, want to see this happen.
Interesting.
So, and obviously there's been an update from Calcio Mercato as well, saying that Roma have rejected Tottenham's opening offer of 25 million plus Joe Rodon for Nicolo Zaniolo.
Classic Levy for opening offer. Wouldn't accept anything less. I like Zaniolo. I've said that before. I do have some reservations over a deal for him. I think, look, we do need an attacking midfielder, a versatile one, and he kind of fits that. He can play behind the striker, he can play on the right, he can play on the left. So, I mean, from that point of view, yeah, he makes sense. But I don't know, the kind of player he is, I just think, for me, we need a different profile of player in terms of the style of player he is. He's more of a dribbler. He's a bit more physical. He's like 6'4". He's a powerful dribbler, take people on, gets shots off and stuff like that.
Creative?
I don't know. I mean, for me, from what I've seen, he's not like, maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't seem to be the most like creative passer. He might be, but from what I gather, his biggest strengths is his dribbling ability, and that's all well and good, which is fine. I just feel we have quite a bit of that right now with Richarlison, with Lucas Moura, Kulusevski decent at dribbling as well. Son's a decent dribbler. I feel like we need someone who's got a bit more vision. That's why I'm looking at Maddison. I wanted Eriksen, people like that. But look, if they believe Zaniolo is the profile player they want, I think he's a class player. The only other reservation I'll have is his injuries and his suitability to the Premier League, which is another matter. But if that can be overcome, he's clearly a very quality player. For me, I don't know if he's the right profile.
What if I tell you this? I think there was an article yesterday from Matt Law or Dan Kilpatrick, one of these guys, saying the list of Spurs players who have been told they're up for sale and they can find each other new jobs, Matt Doherty and Emerson Royale were on that list. Mm-hmm. Conte has come out and said that he would like to move Lucas Moura to a right wing-back position.
Well, he didn't quite say that.
Well, he says that he's suitable to a right wing-back position.
He said the same with Kulu. Don't expect him to play there.
He did say the same as Kulu, but Lucas Moura right now is well far behind Kulusevski in the pecking order. Mm-hmm. You're dropping off in quality some way by playing Lucas Moura over Kulusevski in that position as well. So would you be so against our two right wingers or our two right number 10s going into the season, Zaniolo and Kulusevski, and then our two right wing backs being Jed Spence and Lucas Moura?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, because I think the biggest strength we had when we played the big teams is that we had really strong, compact defence, which was hard to break through. And I think Emerson was a big part of that, whatever anyone wants to say. I think he was a very big part of that right wing back. And I think going into the new season with just those two options, right, of Lucas and Spence, I think we might be, I'm not saying definitely, I think we might be leaving ourselves a bit short in terms of if we want to have a really strong defensive display against the likes of City and Liverpool. Would I trust Spence or Lucas as much as I trust Emerson in those kind of games based on what we see? I don't know. Like I I don't know. I think it's a big risk. I wouldn't want.
What if you keep Emerson around, sell Doherty, and go with those three? And Doherty can be the utility man on the left. I mean, Emerson can be the utility man a bit in those big games. You know, he can play the likes of the Man Cities, the Liverpools, and then you go for Jed Spence or Lucas Moura when you want to attack a bit more.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, I don't know about Lucas Moura if he's going to use him consistently. Maybe he will. And then what? And then you sign him Zaniolo and he plays right wing. In competition with Kulusevski. I mean, I wouldn't be too against it if they believe that's the right way to go forward. I mean, look, if they believe, if Conte and the staff believe that they could handle that, then that would make it even more exciting. I do question that whether Lucas, how much game time he's going to see at right wing back, but I mean, he did okay. I mean, I don't think he was anything special when he played there in the friendlies. He didn't do terrible, but he wasn't like incredible either.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that when someone like Antonio Conte says you've got the right attributes to play this position, how many times have we seen him move a winger to right wing back? If he sees that, you know, you could thrive in that position or you can play that position, you know, with a bit of training, he could be very good there.
Potentially. But I don't know. I mean, maybe. I just think like I think it's an option there if we don't have any other wing backs, but we do have wing backs there, so I don't see why he would, unless we really do sell Doherty and Emerson, then maybe it becomes more of an option. But I don't know. I'm starting to doubt whether we will though. I'm starting to doubt whether we're going to sell them.
I did a stream with David a few days ago, and they asked me, what do we think is going to happen with the right wing-back situation? And I said that I think we're going to keep Doherty and Emerson. I did say that. But with these Zaniolo links, it kind of does make a bit of sense for Zaniolo to play competition with Kulu, especially as what Conte was saying about Lucas Moura last week about the right wing back situation, and sell maybe a Matt Doherty if we can get some money, and keep Emerson, Lucas and Spence for that right wing back role.
Maybe. I mean, he did play Kulu there a few times last season, but it was only in the last 20 minutes or so. That's similar to what I expected with Lucas. I don't expect us to be starting games with Lucas or right wing back often next season. I really don't, even though he did it in a friendly. You got to remember Perisic wasn't available, so Doherty was kind of playing left wing back a lot. Yeah. So he only had Emerson and one other, so he played Lucas. I wouldn't read too much into it. As much as he said he can play there, I don't think it's going to be something that we rely on.
Okay, it's an interesting one, but let us know your thoughts on Nicolo Zaniolo in the comment section below, and also let us know your thoughts on the right wing-back situation. How do you expect it to pan out? Let's move on and let's talk about Bryan Gil now. As a Sampdoria publication say that Sampdoria and Spurs are working towards a loan without an option to buy for Bryan Gil. The Italian club were initially put off by Tottenham's £2.5 million loan fee demands last month, but are now making a second attempt to sign the 21-year-old. So do you think that, I mean, he had quite a successful loan spell at Valencia last year. It's interesting why they're not coming back in for another loan spell.
Yeah, that is interesting because the fans were loving him at one point. It did he started really strongly and then he kind of faded away a bit near the end of his loan spell. So maybe there was something about that. But it is a bit interesting. Maybe they don't have the money. Maybe they want a permanent and we just want a loan. I don't know what the deal is. Right now. Well, he also, I think, am I right in saying Gattuso just became their manager?
What, Valencia? Yeah, he did.
Maybe maybe he doesn't want to deal with us. We know what he's been saying about us. You know, he's a bit obsessed with not getting the Tottenham job. So maybe there's something to do with that as well. Maybe the new manager. Maybe Gil's not his kind of player. That's also very possible. So. I think that's maybe a reason why they haven't gone back in for him. Sampdoria, look, I don't know too much about how Sampdoria play or whatever, but maybe it could be a good fit for him.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and find out, won't we? But it does seem like Sampdoria are going to come back with a second attempt to try and get Bryan Gil on loan. Next up, we're going to talk about Sergio Reguilon, as ABC Sevilla, obviously a Sevilla publication, say that Sevilla are still keen on Sergio Reguilon, but a transfer is dependent on the sale of Jules Koundé, with many reporting that the centre-back is set to join Chelsea now. Tottenham's rivals in Chelsea could end up funding the sale of Sergio Reguilon.
Interesting. That would be nice.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Although with Chelsea getting Koundé, I mean, they're looking stronger by the signing at the moment.
At the back they are, yeah.
They are. They're looking decent. Obviously Sterling up front as well.
They still don't have a number 9 yet. Or
No, because
tall forward or any
do
forward.
they need a number 9? I don't know. I mean, depends what Tuchel wants. But maybe their business isn't done yet. I wouldn't be surprised. I was just reading a thing saying by Mundo Deportivo saying that Reguilon has told close friends that the deal to Sevilla is close.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
That's what Mundo. I mean, and we know they're not that reliable, but that's what they're claiming. So maybe this one definitely. Obviously, we spoke about Barcelona the other day, but I think Sevilla makes much more sense. He'll be back where he was at his best, where he was at his strongest. That earned him that move to Spurs. He was very sought after that summer as well. Nearly moved to Man United based on his performances. So I'm sure he'll be a lot happier there. Look, I think if we can get as much money as possible for him, again, I think there's so much potential revenue we can bring in from sales. Like, it's very encouraging for potential more transfers incoming if we can get good money for Reguilon.
Absolutely. So that's Reguilon. Let's talk about Alain Saint-Maximin now, as The Athletic says that Tottenham only ever made tentative inquiries about Saint-Maximin this summer, hoping that Newcastle would be willing to sell at a cut price. Due to their newfound wealth, a 40 million asking price ended any interest and Spurs Spurs and any other suitors for his services.
Interesting.
I think 40 million sounds about right for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's it's 10 million less than Richarlison. I guess for his goal and assist output, it's not. You would think.
Well, Richarlison was 60. Could go up to 60.
Yeah, 50 million could go up to 60. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, 40 million is not terrible, but it is probably overpaying a bit. I would say probably 30.
Not if you ask Grandpa.
Right. Look, he's great. Look, he's a brilliant dribbler. He's just very frustrating in the final third. But if that can be ironed out, he could be a brilliant player there. Look, the thing is, you could sign him for 40 million, and it could end up being a bargain if you can train him in the right way. But right now, he probably is like a £30 million player. But the fact that no one's gone in for him, maybe a lot of people think the same.
Yeah, interesting.
Then again, Adama Traore, what's happening with him? He's a similar player.
Yeah, I read somewhere that Wolves are willing to take like 10 million for him now or something.
We nearly spent 50. Crazy. You know what I mean? So maybe they're looking at that similar situation and think, look, if he's worth 40, might as well get Adama for 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Got a couple of quotes coming up next. First one from Federico Bernardeschi, and he tells the Gazzetta dello Sport, I won 9 trophies playing for Juve. What more could I ask for? I have nothing to prove. And yes, I also had an offer from London, but I don't say who. Let's say that I admire Conte shamelessly. Interesting.
I mean, Bernardeschi didn't have the best time at Juve. In terms of, he says he won trophies, but in terms of game time and stuff, he signed for, I'm pretty sure it was either, I can't remember if it was big money or if it was on a free transfer from Fiorentina, but I remember he signed there. That was like 2017, it was a while ago now, and he was never quite nailed down a spot for Juventus, although he was quite a few caps for Italy, I think he was playing fairly regularly at the Euros. Player again who was, when he was playing for Fiorentina, had bags of ability, sweet left foot.
He signed
quite
for
similar.
36 million.
Yes, it was big money. So it was quite similar to Kulusevski actually, Bernardeschi, but he never quite got the run of games or the starting spot at Juve he should have. But he's gone to US now.
Yeah, he's in Toronto now.
Yeah, so that goes to show where he's at.
He's only 28 years old as well, and he's already gone to the MLS.
But it just goes to show how badly it's gone for him, because to go to the US at that age and not go anywhere in Europe on a free transfer shows how out of favour he was, despite the ability he had at the beginning of his spell at Juventus. So, but interesting that he's claiming that we went in for him. Maybe it's in case Moura left. Maybe we're thinking about him on the right wing. Maybe Conte likes him. It's interesting. I think he's got ability, but I don't know. I think he's just one of those players who's a bit of an enigma. I think Bernardeschi, bags ability, sweet left foot, good at dribbling, good shot on him, but never quite got
Lived
going.
up to the reputation as well.
Never quite got going at Juve. Might have been a good sub for us, but I think we probably did well not to get involved.
Well, seeing as he's gone to the MLS, then you're probably right there. Last but not least, I got an interesting quote from Dejan Kulusevski, and he's talking about Harry Kane. It was really funny. I don't know what it was. It was in some sort of forum. Was it in Korea or something?
Yeah,
I think it must have been in Korea, but he was sitting there with Heung-min Son and a few of the other guys as well. I'm not sure who else. And he says, "Hi, Harry. I think you are one of the best strikers in the world, but if we get a free kick on Wednesday, I think Sonny will take it." I'm not sure what he's talking about Wednesday, because we actually never played a game on Wednesday.
We did, the K-League.
Oh.
Must have been before the K-League.
Before that game.
Must have been before the K-League game.
This is only coming out now, so I'm just thinking, now, what's going on here? But yeah, it must have been before that game. But, you know, he's saying what everyone else is thinking, really.
Yeah,
and
but
Harry Kane scored a free kick that day.
The funny thing is, he did take the free kick. Maybe he saw what Kane said. He was like, I'm going to show him. It's funny that the players, realise whatever all the fans see is that Kane is terrible at free kicks and shouldn't really be on free kicks, which I find hilarious, and he's getting a bit made fun of a bit, which is funny. But I would like to see Son take more free kicks. He showed for South Korea he's got good technique. I think in theory the whip he gets on his shots should lead to good free kick taking. We know how bad Kane has been at free kicks, so Kulusevski definitely has a point, but it's funny for him to say it out loud in a forum.
Do you think that if Kane is looking at these comments, if I know Harry Kane, he's probably being like, you know what, screw you, I'm going to keep taking them and get better, and you'll see.
Yeah, probably. That's probably the best.
That's his mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably the best fuel to the fire for Harry Kane. He loves proving people wrong. That's always what's fueled him. Every time people have thrown anything at him, he's chucked it back in their face and then some. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same. Although
and he did score that Wednesday,
and he did. So you're absolutely right. But what I would say is I do think I don't think he sees a teammate joking like that and probably thinks like that. He definitely thinks it when rival fans say things and stuff, and he sees it. He definitely adds that fuel. But I don't know if a bit of banter between teammates adds fuel. Although it might do. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Although he did score the free kick, so but it was a deflection.
Straight out of the playbook from Gianni Vio. But anyway, that is your Tottenham update today. A lot of interesting stuff, so let us know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.